Well, what do you do? I asked. Then remembering my manners, thanks for thinking of me. It's typing, mostly, Janet answered. But her tone was so enthusiastic that she might have said swimming with dolphins. Mrs. W. kept journals for decades, and she hired me to transcribe them. Over 1,000 pages, all handwritten. I just got to page 200 a couple of weeks ago. W, I repeated. The name sounded familiar. I realized that I'd seen it on a building on campus. It might also have been on a wing at the Natural History Museum. Yes, Marion W., Janet said, sipping her coffee. She's in her 70s now. Is it the same W as the science building? Janet nodded. Yup, same one. Her family was prominent in the early days of Los Angeles. Her grandfather came out to California in the late 1800s. He helped found a couple of the fancier suburbs, so she's actually one of the street people. The street people? I said, picturing men in torn jackets on sidewalks during the Depression, holding tin cups out unsteadily to passers-by. You know, Canfield, Whittier, Doheny, W. The streets in Beverly Hills, which were named for the original families. Oh, I said, feeling utterly stupid. How did you find her? She found me. She asked the dean for a reference, and I guess he mentioned my name. She's really attached to USC. Her family's had a seat on the board for 3 generations, and I have a feeling she still gives a lot of money. According to the dean, Mrs. W. wanted a history grad student specifically. She says we have a greater respect and understanding of how the world works than the flakes in the English department. Well, that's true, I agreed, trying to take this all in. A rich lady who'd kept a 1,000-page journal by hand. This sounded about as exciting as watching a car get an oil change. Plus, I didn't like the idea of what amounted to secretarial work. But the truth was, I needed the money. You should totally do it, Rick, Janet said brightly. The work is easy, $25 an hour, 10 hours a week. It's not great, but it beats working in the dining hall, and the stories are kind of interesting, only... A shadow passed over her face, a single small cloud in her otherwise sunny demeanor. What? Well, she's kind of particular. She keeps herself busy. She's involved with a couple of museums and hospitals, a fancy women's group, but she seems isolated just the same. Her husband died like 40 years ago, and I'm not sure she sees her kids much. She's a strong personality, and yet there's something nice there, too. I don't know. All that time alone, it's not good for anyone, you know? I nodded absently, not really paying attention. In my mind, I was doing calculations. $25 times 10 hours was $250 a week, or another $1,000 a month. If I started next week, I could make my rent this month. And the work itself did sound easy. I was a fast typist, could read all kinds of writing from the work I'd done for my father's business in high school. Sure, this woman's life was totally foreign to me, but that might make it interesting. Maybe I'd learn something about LA history. I was, after all, an historian. Although stupidly, with what I realized now was the particular arrogance of the overeducated and underemployed, I didn't believe that there was anything the wealthy could teach me. This easy dismissal, this lack of openness to nuance and possibility, might have had something to do with why I wasn't a better scholar. It definitely had something to do with my failure to hear the hitch in Janet's voice, the warning about Mrs. W. being particular. Given Janet's general optimism, I should have taken notice of her sudden concern. But I didn't. All I thought about was my own burden being lifted. The next morning, when I called the number that Janet had given me, I was surprised by the voice on the other end. 2732? A young woman said cheerily, as if she were operating an old-time switchboard. Could I speak to Mrs. W., please? Who is this? This is